One of the questions they like to ask repeatedly on the SAT deals with circles. And specifically, they ask us for the ratio between, or the relationship, rather, between an arc length, the area of a sector, and the internal or the central angle for that sector. So if this is the center C, let's call this arc length A. Let's call this area B, and we'll call this degrees theta. Theta, B, and A, they all have a very distinct relationship. Specifically, if we were to divide theta by 360, that would equal to the area of that sector divided by the area of the circle, which is pi r squared, which would also equal to that arc length A divided by the circumference, which is 2 pi r. Now, to give you a real-world example, and hopefully this will make a more intuitive sense to you. Let's say we order a pizza, and let's say I ask the pizza shop not to cut it into any slices because I want to do it myself. When the pizza is delivered, I decide I want to eat this much of the pizza. Let's say this dot represents the center C. Let's look at the degree of pizza that I'm eating, which is theta, compared to the entire degree of pizza available, which would be 360. That should equal the amount of pizza that I'm actually eating, which is the area of that sector, divided by, again, the total pizza that is available, which is just the area, or pi r squared. And that's equal to the amount of crust that I eat, which is A, divided by the entire amount of crust available in the entire pizza. So as you can see, hopefully this should make pretty intuitive sense. Just the degree divided by the total should equal the area divided by the total area available, which should also equal the arc length divided by the total circumference. Typically, for these types of questions, what they're going to give you is they're going to give you theta. They might also give you the area, and they're going to ask you to figure out what the arc length is. Your job would then be to figure out what r is by setting these two equations or proportions equal to each other. This will be given, so your only unknown would be r. After you figure out what r equals, we plug that back in there, and then again you can set this equation up. Now we have r is given and theta is given, and we can figure out what a is. Or they might ask you to find what b is and they give you a, but it's more or less the same thing. Your job is usually going to figure out what the radius is, set up the two proportions equal to each other, and then solve for the unknown.